Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on the Mr. Brickday channel. Today we're going to be doing a review of Peter Parker's apartment. This set is set number 76317. It is 394 pieces and it costs £44.99 pounds and $54.99 and it is for ages 8+. Now this set is actually really cool and I actually really like this whole new sort of mini modular style stuff they're doing. As you can see, it also comes with 3 individual manuals to be able to build with some friends or with your family. But yeah, anyway, let's get straight into the review, and obviously we start off with the minifigs. Okay, so starting off with the minifig we always get in every single one of these Spider-Man sets. We have the Spider-Man minifig, but the thing with this Spider-Man minifig is that we actually get an alternate head, as you can see with him. You have the actual Peter Parker head, which is really, really nice. And, I love the hairpiece, I love the details. It's a normal mini Spider-Man minifig we usually get, so it's not, there's nothing too crazy about it, apart from there's no, dual molded legs. But of course he has the alternate, more terrified, scared face, which is pretty cool. So yeah, overall, pretty decent minifig, but we get him in every other Spider-Man set, so nothing too crazy about him. Another minifig that you can get for a cheaper price somewhere else is this Anti-Venom minifig. He is very cool still. It's a very cool minifig to get. If you don't have him from the mech set, then it's pretty cool that you can get him from this set. As you can see, he's got really cool printing on his face and on his chest. I do love this. He is depicted as a villain in this set, which is strange because he's actually not a villain, but again, pretty cool minifig. If you don't have him from the Spider-Man mech set, this is definitely a cool one to add to the collection, for sure. Okay, so now we're getting into the more, I would say, minifigs that are new. Obviously the pieces that are in this set, like for this minifig, are not really new. They are, pieces that we have seen before on the minifig, but as you can see, the detailing is really nice. I love the jacket and the striped top, and I do love the headpiece that's been used. It is a headpiece that is used for Pepper Potts as well, though, so it's not a unique. I think also Hermione from Harry Potter, so it's not a unique head print for her, but I do love the hair as well and the nice red. But yeah, I would have loved to have got her with her Spider-Man top, but beggars can't be choosers, and to be honest with you, this is definitely a good looking minifig, and finally we have an MJ, so it's pretty awesome. I do like this one a lot. Oh. Okay, so now we move on to the best minifig out of all of them in this set, and it is the Hobgoblin. Now, his details are absolutely awesome. Sorry, the lighting's a bit strange in here, so I have to try and cover behind so you don't get really overexposed. But he's a really cool looking minifig. I really like this one. I really like the plastic Batman cape they use for him here. I think it works well, because he's got a tired cape and he's in flight, so I think it really works well. I will, of course, there is also detail on the back, of course, which is really cool. But yeah, he's a really awesome minifig, and he obviously comes with a alternate, more evil. They're both evil grins, but I like this one's like more of a sort of squint-eyed look. So yeah, really like this minifig a lot. Definitely worth picking up the set purely for this guy because of the leg printing and the torso printing and stuff. So good. And I just thought that I would show off the fact that he's got his little printed pouch on there too that follows along from his strap on there too. So yeah, really awesome minifig. Really big fan of this one, and definitely worth picking up the set for this guy. He also comes with 2 of these really awesome pumpkin bombs, which are also, I believe they also come in the Oscorp Tower set. You get 2 of these bad boys. And the cool thing about these ones, and the thing that I didn't realise until now, didn't think about until now, is you can actually remove, if I can, I've got nails, hold on. This is how we usually do it. Usually just attach it to a stud and spin it around. This thing's not going to come off, is it? Why are you not coming off? Hold on a second. Got it. You can take off the flame piece, which is really cool. It's like a cool new mold they've added, which I think is definitely going to come in handy for, you know, Avengers Doomsday sets, for the Human Torch, and also Ghost Rider. I know there's a Ghost Rider coming out in January, so this is a really cool piece that he'll definitely have. And there's some really nice details on the back of the pumpkin bomb, which is super awesome. Really big fan of these new pumpkin bombs, and of course, you know, they have a place to be put in the set, which I will show you in a moment. So yeah, really cool little accessories here. The set also comes with 2 mini builds, as you can see. We have a little mini spider build. I'm not really too like thingy about these. I mean, it's cool to have like a little remote one. I think it's cool. But you do also get the normal spider, as you can see, which is pretty cool. But it's like, oh, I just dropped him. Sorry, Spidey. But it's like, yeah, I don't really know what the need is personally for this sort of build. It's kind of cool. It's a cool little thing, a cool little accessory to have, I guess, and cool for kids to play with. But yeah, just not a big fan of it myself. But the nice cool sticker here and stuff, and yeah, it's a cool little robot spider build, regardless of whether I think it's really needed to be in the set. Here we have Hobgoblin's glider. Now this is absolutely awesome. I am such a big fan of this build. I think it looks really cool. I will show you him standing on it, of course, right now, but look, as you can see, it is a really slick build. You have a lot of posability with this, weirdly enough, as well. The wings can, you know, go all the way back if you really felt like you needed to. You can bring them all the way to the front. You can have them bent. You can have them sort of midway, which is kind of how I see most of the goblins gliders to look like anyway. You can see it's got a really cool gun pieces here. You've got these 2 studs here as well, which you can actually place, and it says in the instructions to do this too, you can place his pumpkin bombs on, which are really cool. I'm just going to quickly show you that right now. There you go, you can see pumpkin bombs on there. Really cool sticker here as well, and of course there's the 2 studs to stand them on. Nice little vent bit here too, and then a really cool flame piece that comes at the back to make it look like it's actually flying. But no, this is a really awesome glider build, and I'm a big fan, and I think it's probably one of the best glider builds that we've got, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, really awesome. I also want to say that it comes with a bunch of web pieces, as usual. You have the big massive rubber one, as usual, which you can obviously close and put, you know, the villains in and stuff, which is really cool. You've got a couple other web pieces that are actually attached to the build. You also can build up these little web shooting pieces, of course, for Spider-Man to, you know, do his attacks. Also, funnily enough though, you can use these as well for anti-venom, because obviously anti-venom is white. His symbiote is white, so you can use these pieces as well. You've also got a little handcuff piece, which is cool, and you've just got 2 extra little long pieces which you can just use for anything. But there is also another little accessory thing that comes with this, including these webs, but you'll find out about them later. But yeah, that's all the little accessories and the minifigs done, and the small builds. So let's get on to the big part of the build. And by big part, I mean main part, realistically. The actual building itself here, which is really awesome. And I actually am a really big fan of these new sort of play set open back buildings. I think it's a really cool addition to have, especially for people who, you know, can't really afford to pay £200 odd or $200 on modulars. They can build their own little city like this, which I think is really cool. We're obviously going to talk about the details and the play features and stuff. There's a couple little play features in this, and obviously at the end of the video I will discuss what these little pieces are for. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. So I want to start off with the bottom floor, and then I'll move to the top floor for the exterior, and then I'll show you the interior of the entire building. Okay, so starting off with the exterior of the bottom floor, as you can see, we have some really nice details here. I love the little sort of brickwork they have along the front. It is really nice. I also love the stickered 410 for Peter Parker's apartment, obviously. Really nice little shrubbery here on this sort of little ledge piece, which I think is really nice too. I love the little vent area. I love these buildable vents. They look really cool and really slick, and just really all around really nice. I like the colour of the door as well. I think it matches really cool. The blue all the details just look really nice, and I really like that. This side is just completely blank, but to be perfectly honest with you, it makes sense why it's, you know, completely blank, is because, you know, these studs, these little connector pieces, you're obviously going to have something connecting up to this side, so it's kind of just left blank. And then on this side, as you can see, you have a little window here, which is a nice little change to just show you a little bit of a window area. So if you were going to have like maybe like an alleyway connected up or something, you can still have that little window piece showing, which is cool. And then those are the other web pieces I talked to you about, was speaking about when I showed you off the other ones. Now, just before I actually show you the top part here in a bit more detail and a bit closer up, I wanted to quickly show you something really cool that you can do with this as well. And the reason why the reason why I'm showing this is because it's easier for me to show you it, is you can actually split this off. When you're building it, you build this into halves. So you have the two halves here and stuff, and you have the, you know, the flat pieces with the two studs that makes it easier to take it off. And then you can have it both like this, which I think is really cool thing that you can do, because it adds a little bit more sort of, you know, if you buy a couple of these, you can add a couple different floors of it, or, you know, there may be some future sets that come out that have, you know, bits that you can, you know, add on top of in between that are the same sort of colour as this. So I think it's really cool that you can do that, but yeah, just wanted to quickly show that. Now, talking about the top floor, or the second floor, we have awesome little indentation, like a little sort of brought out bit here, which is nice, a little bit of depth and detail to the building rather than just being completely flat. Some more sort of shrubbery plant things, another air duct, another piece for a web. And yeah, it's just really cool, this whole area. There's quite a few of these holes around here, as you've seen, which can make it look a little bit ugly, but at the same time it's really cool because you can obviously have, you know, your certain minifigs posed up on, you know, like hanging onto the wall. And because this is obviously part of a sort of Marvel street, you can pretty much have, like, you know, have multiple different Spider-Men. There's a new Spider-Man CMS series obviously came out recently. You can probably put a couple of these guys on here and stuff, so you can really customize it, which I really like that about these new sets. A little bit more detail on here, which is quite cool, and I really like that. And obviously you can see there's a little punch bit here. I will talk to you about that in a moment. And then you've got this really awesome big sticker here, which is a bit strange. When I was building it, I was confused why it told me that to do this, but maybe there's something that'll be like pressed up against it and needs a little bit of extra space. But it was inverted, which is very strange. Usually it's the other way around for the inside part to be this sort of inverted bit. But you've got a nice Daily Bugle print sticker here, you know, with the really awesome newspaper there, and the blah 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 from J. Jonah Jameson with the web on it, because, you know, he just talks a lot of poo sometimes. And then at the top here you've just got this really cool sort of little rooftop bit here and stuff, which is really cool. And you've got this nice cool little grate thing here, which actually can pop on and off. You see it's held by two studs. There is a reason for that, and I will show you that I'll show you that in a wee moment. But for now, we're just going to put it back, and I'll show that off in a second. But I wanted to quickly show off, since we're up here, this piece here. If you, oh, I've just broken something, sorry guys. Hold on. Sorry, yes, so if you obviously push this piece in like this, you can pop off a whole section of the roof, which is a whole section of the building, which is really cool. And to top that off, the things I also spoke about was you get these couple extra flame pieces, which you can actually just place on here to cause a little bit of a flame effect, like a little bit of destruction. It's just a really cool, simple play feature, but it really works, and I really like that. So yeah. And then if you want to put it back on, there's this connecting piece here that you just connect it in like that, and that just keeps it in nice and slot and snug. It's got a little bit of movement, but like nothing too major. It's not going to like topple on you, it won't fall off if you flop it. You do have to actually push that play feature. But yeah, really cool. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the exterior of this bit. So now we move on into the interior. Now, for a small build like this, the interior is actually quite roomy, quite spacious, and it's actually able to cram in quite a lot of detail as well, which I really like. You've got a whisk on the wall there, you've got your pizza box, you've got the cabinets here too, which of course do actually open, but there is nothing inside obviously. And you've got this little bit here too, you've got a little cooker place where you can put your, you know, your pot to cook stuff. The tap piece is absolutely awesome as well. I really am a massive fan of that. Love the gold piece for the door, because, you know, it opens in the way, which again we'll talk about why that happens later on in the video. You've got 2 seats as well for, you know, MJ and Peter, and you've got these really awesome cups, little see-through cups too, which is really cool. As you may see, we have a couple of these superhero pieces here too, which is actually really cool, because what you can do with those is you can take Peter and you can have him stick on to the edge there like that, to have him hanging upside down like that. You know, you can have him doing that, you know, as well as the fact you can create, as they say in the actual instructions, you can create the iconic kissing Spider-Man kiss, which I think is really cool to have those little pieces, just to have him hanging around, because he's always doing that in his apartment, isn't he? Okay, so now we move on into the upstairs part of the of the little apartment. This is obviously Peter Parker's bedroom, which is really cool. You've got a really cool build for a stethoscope here, which is really cool. I'm going to quickly just pop that out so you can see a bit behind that and stuff. It's a really nice little build here. Big fan of that. We have a cool little crate here which you can open. Which you can open up. Hold on, sorry, it's stuck. But there is nothing inside of it, which is a bit, I don't know, it's a bit annoying, but it'd be cool to have like an Easter egg in there or something, but I'm not too fussed. A little bit of shelf space back there, which is really cool as well. You could put stuff up there if you want, but it'll probably just fall off because there is no studs. Nice little camera, because you know it's Peter Parker's apartment and his bedroom. You've got this really cool swivel chair, which is really cool as well. You can spin it around. It's easier to, you know, actually put your minifigs on there to spin them around to the computer. A really cool Daily Bugle sticker on this computer here, which is Daily Bugle Online Venom Spotted, you know, but it actually looks like it's anti-venom, so pretty cool. You've got some nice little schematics here of him obviously drawing up his Iron Spider suit, which is really cool. Nice little post-it note there too, and of course this actually does flip down to reveal his bed, which is really cool. It's got a little games controller, because you know he's a gamer, and you have the 2 studs there too, which you can obviously move his game control over to that stud or something like that, or put it on top of there and have Peter actually be able to sleep from there, which is cool. You also have on this other side here a really cool sticker of the science fair, the #1 prize, of course, a nice picture of him, I believe of him in high school winning a trophy, and a really cool picture of, or you know, leaflet of Oscorp, showing the actual Oscorp Tower, which of course is another playset that is in line with this sort of Marvel street, which is really cool. And it's yeah, it's pretty awesome. Big fan of the little interior here too, and yeah, it's a nice little spacious area. Plenty of room for you to put a minifig sitting there, one standing there maybe, sleeping, sitting, doing stuff there. Do you know what I mean? It's actually quite spacious, which I really do quite like. Okay, so now that I've finished the review, I'm going to show you off a couple cool things that you can actually do involving this build. First off, obviously, to put it back together, you just clip it on like that, all nice and cool. There's a couple different ways that you can actually do things with this, so I'm going to bring my camera up and I'm going to show you a couple of those. Okay, now that I've brought you guys back a little bit, we're going to bring on in the Bodega, the Spider-Man vs. Spot set that came out much earlier on in this year. Was it late last year? I think it was this year. Obviously we've got this one that came out in the summer of this year. Now, the reason why these little peg pieces are here, obviously, and I want to show you this, is if you remember, I spoke about it in my review. There's a couple of these peg pieces here. There's also another couple of peg pieces right on there, which is really cool. Sorry, Gwen. And what these pieces actually do is you just slot them in like that. Oh, sorry, Miles, popping you off like that. Spot as well falling off now. You just pop it in like so. Let's get Spot back on his little spot there, because you know Spider-Man is taking down the Spot. And then there you go, you've got a little connection piece there, which is really cool. Now, in my eyes and in my thought process in all this, is this doesn't have a bit of pavement. Now, I've seen the Oscorp Tower and stuff and seen what it looks like, and they do have quite a lot of bits of pavement like this one. My thought process with this is you clip it off, accidentally leaving behind that. I'll take that piece out in a minute. And I think, as you saw, there's these 2 stud pieces here. Now, I think this was designed to go up on top of the bodega, or at least on top of a building. And then you've got like a big sort of apartment block building, which I think is really, really cool, and I think that works. Also makes sense why this piece opens in like that. Now also, you may be thinking that's pretty dangerous, you know. Peter could literally walk out his front door and just fall to, well, he wouldn't fall because he would spin a web. But that is, of course, where this piece comes in. This little grate piece I was talking about before. This, as you can see, there's two studs that put there. If you just clip this on like that, now you have a guard railing for your what do you call it? For your door. So now it feels more like an apartment. And obviously you spin it around, you've got, you know, the different interiors and stuff, which I think is a really, really cool way to do it, personally, in my eyes. So yeah, this is showing it combined. When I do the Oscorp Tower review, eventually, I will combine both these sets to that as well, so you can see the whole thing combined. But yeah, I think that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you are new. We're trying to get to 600 subscribers. We're trying to get to 600 subscribers before the end of the year. So come on, let's get there. We've only got almost 1 month left. We're almost at the end of November. This is crazy. But yes, anyway, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, stay tuned for more. Thank you and goodbye.